something about loving and trusting are so connected to one another that the more we grow in a mutual love for one another, the more we are able to trust one another and respect one another. Hello, good afternoon, and this is Father Sunny, and welcome to another Dose of Holy. Yesterday is Sunday, and I delivered a homily yesterday about love as opposed to fear, and a couple of people have encouraged me to use this message again here at my Dose of Holy, and so I'm sharing the idea in sort of a little slightly different way from what I did yesterday in my homilies. So, when we examine our relationships, we sometimes realize, especially our relationship with God, that our relationships might be founded on fear. One of my brother priests always ask the question to his parishioners: why do you do the things that you do? Why do you go to church? Why do you participate in ministry? Why do you do good toward others? And sometimes the answer that could be given is, Father, because I want to go to heaven and I don't want to go to hell. I want to go to heaven. That's one thing, that's a reward. But the punishment of going to hell is a form of condition of punishment, and therefore something that is fearful and nobody wants to get there. I mean, who would like to, who really naturally wants to go to hell? We tend to, just by our nature, want to go away from something that's destructive and harmful. And so I can imagine that people don't want to go to hell. But is this the real motivation for a genuine, authentic, and really life-giving relationship, especially when we're talking about one another's relationship, and also, even more importantly, our relationship with God? Is fear the foundation of our relationships? And what is wrong with it? The answer is, well, there is nothing that's necessarily wrong about our relationships based on fear if we do what we're supposed to be doing. But then again, on the other hand, I think especially in our relationship with God, we realize that if our motivation is based on fear, that's probably the bare minimum in our motivations. Because, like for example, when you do an act of contrition, when you go to confession, you say, forgive me, Father, for oh my God, I'm heartily sorry for having offended you, because I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell. You're basically saying, I'm saying sorry to you because I don't want to go to hell. But then again, this part of that that act of contrition says, but especially because it offends you, my God, who are so good to me and deserving of all my love. So the greater motivation is based on a loving relationship that we have with God. And so when we go to church, we need to clarify our motivations. And sometimes I ask these people, what about if there is no hell? What about if there's no punishment if you didn't go to church? What if there's no bad consequence to you if you did not do good toward other people? Are you still going to go to church? Are you still going to participate in the life of faith? Are you still going to do good? And then you can clarify for yourself. Are you doing it because you actually do believe in the good that you're doing? And are you really doing it because there's something more than simply being afraid of being punished? But the more perfect reason is that you actually love God. And so that is the clarification that I think that we all need in order for us to elevate the quality and the authenticity of our relationship with God and with one another. When a relationship is based on fear, it is hardly any relationship at all. That's what I would say about that. If the only reason why you're there in that relationship is because you're afraid of the other person, or you're afraid of consequences of getting out of that relationship, then that is not even quite any valuable relationship at all. And so we have to, every relationship has to be founded in love, in loving God in order to remain in God, in loving the other person in order to have a genuine and life-giving relationship with the other person. And so for me as a priest, I always think in terms of this: I will not be a priest right now if I don't love God. Many of you probably know how crazy it is to be a priest. All the quote-unquote sacrifices that you make in the ministry of the priesthood, long hours, it's high-level stresses, and little pay really. and so if I have any motivation at all to remain in the priesthood and to continue to love the things that I'm doing in the priesthood, it is because I'm doing all of this out of my love for God. And so I ask for your prayers that I can continue to do my job, my work, my ministry, my service as a priest for others in the name of my love of God, and also most especially in the name of the calling that God has given me. And so I encourage you all to continue to kind of discern and reflect and reaffirm your motivations for the things that you do good, for the good things that you do, as well as for continuing to develop your relationship with God. It has to be founded on love. If it's not good enough. The second part of that is when we love someone, it is easier to trust someone. And so this is the new thing in this language that I'm doing, which I didn't do yesterday in my homily. From loving someone, it is easier to actually trust that someone when we love that person. Something about loving and trusting are so connected to one another that the more we grow in our mutual love for one another, the more we are able to trust one another and respect one another. And so if we are founded only on fear, it is almost impossible to trust the other person. And so if you would like to really truly be set free, to be free and to be given a beautiful blessed relationship, work toward motivating yourself in the name of love and growing in your trust and your confidence in the other person that you love. All right, that's it. God bless you today. And this is Father Sunny wishing you all the best and blessing you today with a happy, holy, and healthy life. Until next time here at Dose of Holy. Take care.